What up? What up? Welcome back to the Sneaker History Podcast. I'm with my guys. We got another My Starting Five ready to go. We're getting into probably one of the funnest concepts of this format that I can think of. And I'm actually going to let Rohit kind of explain because it was his idea. So, Rohit, let's tell him how we're going to go about this.
So this draft was inspired by I believe it was a Nice Kicks article, and if it's not Nice Kicks, I apologize. You can find me on only. No, I'm not going to do that until the end of the episode. But essentially, the premise was we all know about Team Jordan, so to speak, the athletes that represent Jordan brand. Even LeBron's kind of got a couple of unofficial guys, and we know that the Kobe shoe has a very iconic following in and around not only the NBA but all other American and even global sports. So my thought process was, with the newly christened Kobe brand, why not have a My Starting Five on athletes that we would like to see wear the Kobe insignia and have that Kobe brand where we would traditionally see a Jumpman or the LeBron crown or even the old school swoosh. So that's it in a nutshell. Robbie, Mike, anything else that you guys want to add on top of that for additional context?
I got nothing. You did so well.
That might be a theme of the episode, listener.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So same thing. If this is your first episode, we are going to do this in a traditional snake-style draft. So the draft order today will be Mike with the first pick, Nick with the second, Robbie with the third, and then I'll have the last pick in the first round, but I'll have the first pick in the second round, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth. So it should be a fun one. And let us know at the end if we miss people, because we have a habit of doing that whenever we do these draft shows. Hit us up on the comments. I think it's going to be a fun one for all of us to partake. So without any further ado, Mike, I'm trying to stall for time. I think I've exhausted almost.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good? All right, go for it, Mike.
I'm good. So number one pick, keep it basketball related for the first pick at least. I'm going to go with Devin Booker. I think his play style, he's really just seems like all about the business kind of. I mean, he does his other things, but he seems pretty focused on the basketball like Kobe was, or at least in some degree. So I'll go with him first.
Good choice. He was definitely on my list. I'm actually going to go a little bit weird on this one because I am going to stick with basketball, but I remember reading years ago in a Kobe interview that the toughest defender he ever faced was actually T-Mac, which I think if you look historically, they played against each other all the way through, junior high and high school and then in the league. So I'm going to put T-Mac in some Kobe's. Get Mike some proper Houston Kobe colors out there.
That would be fantastic.
Especially since Adidas and T-Mac are no longer working together, he could slide right into a hypothetical Kobe brand. That's a very cool pick. All right. My first pick, I'm going to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know he has his own shoe brand, but the tweet from Kobe challenging him to be MVP, then him actually doing it is like the kind of stuff you can't make up. That's like you can't make that series of events up. When he first got in the league, he would wear like TB Kobe's, like black and white, like Kobe 10. They got a couple Kobe, I think like AD, like PEs. Then the Milwaukee Bucks looking Kobe 4, undefeated. Just Giannis cut from the same cloth as Kobe. But really seeing Giannis and then seeing Kobe, they're still so different. But yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo, number one for me.
No, that's a lovely pick. And the only other thing I can think of, whenever Kobe was sending out those tweets, who was the player that said, Kobe, what about me? What do you want from me? And I think we just heard radio silence. So if anybody can remind me who that was, that's going to make me laugh even harder.
Oh, I know who. I don't remember who it was either, but I know it happened to somebody.
And it was so earnest of a, Kobe, what about me? What about me? An unnamed NBA player, we're still waiting to hear about that. But with my first overall pick, there is a precedence that has been set in this draft. In fact, it was just made in the previous pick. So with my first overall pick, I'm going to go with who I consider to be Kobe's number one star pupil, and that is the aforementioned Sabrina Ionescu. And I think there is a precedence of people switching brands, and it just makes sense. There's a certain kismet that's associated with it. So Sabrina Ionescu is my first pick for the Robbie brand. That's what we're calling ourselves. And then for my second pick, Kobe Bryant has always had a history of having a talented big man associated with him. And right now, there is nobody that seems to be more talented and more potential driven than one Victor Wembanyama. So Victor, Big Vic, Mike's favorite player for the next decade,
False.
Come on down to the Robbie brand.
I was with you. Until you said that disgusting Spurs player.
Yeah, Mike going. I mean, Rohit going with the new generation here. So I'm also building my team like I'm trying to win. Like if we played a celebrity basketball game, you don't have to be all basketball players, but I'm going basketball. Anthony Davis really has been that Laker. Last season, he wore the LeBron 20 a lot, but historically he's been a Kobe Bryant wearer in LA. That reverse Grinch coming this Christmas time was first seen on Anthony Davis. You know, Lakers connection. It's not really hard to figure out why I picked AD, but the young old man, he's old, but he's still young. It's crazy. Yeah. All right, Nick, who you got?
All right, I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go young. I'm going to go down the mercurial path, let's say, and take Sophia Smith from the women's national team, because she needs to be wearing some Kobe's out there. That would be super dope, right?
Nice.
I like really what you've done. I like what you've done a lot, Nicholas. Well done.
Very good. It's funny, I was going that same kind of sport change path as Nick has done, and I'm going to go with Kylian Mbappe, shake him off of just the, I don't know, like if he's with Nike, I don't know if he's under Jordan Brand, but I think with his just skill level, his dominance, he would be perfect. And of course, Kobe's love of soccer makes perfect sense all the way around.
Kylian Mbappe is with Nike. I think PSG is the Jordan affiliation that we're probably all tying it back to. And he's also the face of the Mercurial, which is the inspiration for the Ma Mercurial. So well done, Mike.
I know what I'm doing sometimes, guys. Now, still straying away from basketball for a moment, another person, female athlete who I think Kobe had kind of a mentor-mentee relationship with. We're going to go with Naomi Osaka. Although she is on maternity leave right now, when she comes back, she's been one of the more dominant females on the court. So that'd be my number 3 pick.
That was a good pick. Definitely
I love
on
it.
My list.
And she has big Kobe energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so speaking of big Kobe energy, and a shameless plug to the Exhaust Notes podcast that Rohit and I do with Todd, I'm going to throw Max Verstappen in here because no one in sports wants to beat you more than Max Verstappen right now, which I think is basically Kobe in a nutshell.
Great pick. I would love to kind of had those two host a podcast, because I do think there is a competitive DNA that the both of them share, even though one was from America by way of Italy and one has been born and raised, I believe, in Netherlands. Correct, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm keeping all basketball players, but now here's my dip into, I can't even finish that phrase without being weird. The younger player I'm choosing. Yeah, right. The younger player I'm choosing is one Bronny James, USC athletes. There's been a lot of cool. He needs to wear like a USC Kobe 5. They need to retro the USC Kobe 5 with him wearing it. I can just see. And that's the ultimate like son of a really famous person, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna go wear Uncle Kobe stuff instead of wearing my dad's stuff, because my dad's corny to him, right? You know, just sons can't get any love. Dads can't get any sons from their love from their sons at that age. You know what I'm trying to say? He's gonna wear Kobe's. He's wearing Kobe's. Bronny and Kobe.
There's probably a high number of fan fiction that's coming out of the Southern California region that hopes that the Bryant daughter and the James son get together at some point. So here's to say maybe that'll happen. I've got the next 2 picks, and I was actually really inspired by a couple of logical reasons with regards to my co-host picks. So first, I'm going to go with Robbie. I'm going to make another basketball player on my team, and I'm going to go with somebody that historically was similar in terms of the prognostication that Robbie did about Bronny James, which is one Tyrese Halliburton, because as the story holds, he was a big LeBron James guy growing up, so much so that his mom would make frequent Nike runs, and she would always get him Kobe stuff, and he would refuse to wear it. But since he's gotten in the league, he's found a newfound appreciation for the shoe, which I think culminated in the Kobe 6 Buddy Elf shoes, which I thought were a much better way to celebrate that holiday season than the aforementioned Grinches. So let me get Tyrese Halliburton. And then for my next pick, I'm going to a different sport. I'm going to a sport that Mike knows well, and I'm going to go with probably the most ruthless and relentless player that's on the modern tour right now, and that's one Carlos Alcaraz.
I didn't think you were going to go that way, Rohit. I thought no one would go that way. Dang it. Good pick.
Roboito.
You tried to zig, and you two both zagged at the same time.
Collision.
This one really cannot ever happen because he's a lifetime athlete of Reebok. But Allen Iverson is going on my Kobe team. Seeing him play against Kobe, obviously, the respect and admiration of each other. I think Kobe was the one who said if Allen Iverson was 6'6" or something, like it would have been a problem. But Allen, as a retired player, showing up at Kobe Laker games or Laker games in general, wearing Kobe jerseys, is like, he's got to be on my team. So AI for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
I didn't think of that.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite thing about the NBA. I think NBA and Formula One, like, people are legitimately fans of the people that come after them. So I'm going to take a little bit of a curveball here because, one, I'm going to talk about baseball. Two, I'm going to talk about the Dodgers, which I would normally never do. But Skate the Great shouted us out on his Instagram, called us out on his Instagram for not talking about Mookie Betts as a Jordan athlete. Look, Jordan baseball athletes are super dope. Like, it's just cool to see Jordans on the diamond, but I think that Kobe's would be even better, right? And we've seen a few people make customs here and there, and like custom cleats are all a thing now in the last few years. But I actually think Mookie in Kobe's would be even better than having him in Jordan's. Like, I just think it would be super dope. The connection to LA, like he's just, I think, like, represents LA in that, like, kind of like braggadocious style that Kobe also had at times. Like, sometimes he was just so intense that he didn't come across that way, and other times it was like, like, just, I don't know how to explain that other than just, like, I feel like that would be a really cool connection to see, and I think it would just be dope to see Kobe's on the baseball diamond.
Definitely. It's funny you said that because I feel like, Nick, we're kind of on the same wavelength on that one, because I was thinking baseball as well. But I want another California-based player who does it all and is literally the best player in baseball. But Shohei Ohtani needs to be in a pair of Kobe's because the man literally is just a machine out there. Like, you never seen anything like that. And although I don't think baseball is the best, stage for sneakers because no one cares so much, but this man makes you care about baseball. So that's my number 4 pick. And number 5, he's already has his own sneaker with a completely different brand, but just the way he is on the court, he deserves to be a Kobe athlete. We need to transition him over. And that's going to be one Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler is definitely someone you can see in a Kobe brand just for his attitude on the court. And that rounds out my team of 5. So we got Nick coming back around for your 5th, bud.
All right, last pick for me is going to be purely based on wanting to see colorways. Although we all can agree this guy was an amazing basketball player. And he actually played with Kobe. So I'm gonna throw Gary Payton on there. Give me some Seattle Supersonics colors on the Kobe's. Like, we've never seen any that I can think of.
So there's the rice, some of the rice. I think the Kobe 5 has like green and yellow.
Yeah, pretty close.
But you're right. They haven't done that, and they should. Any team looks good on a Kobe, really. You can't
could
go
you imagine
wrong.
Like some Mariners, like Seattle colorways on the Kobe's? That would be fire.
Those would be clean.
Man, I'm surprised this person went to the last round. He's the first person I wrote down on my list. I'm taking DeMar DeRozan because Compton's finest. He told the story of one time playing against Kobe. He wore Kobe's all season, and the first time playing against Kobe, he switched to Jordan 10s and got busted by Kobe. And Kobe was like, "Don't ever wear those busted ass shoes around against me again." And that's why DeMar DeRozan plays in Kobe's. Only in Kobe's, because one time Kobe made fun of him for switching out of Kobe's one time against him. And also, just the California, like, they played in the Drew League against each other. Like, DeMar went to Kobe's camps growing up, mid-range for days. You got to go DeMar DeRozan.
Okay. And now with my last pick, I'm going to go off the beaten path, as a couple of us have during this draft. And we are always kind of associating certain universities with players like Jordan, North Carolina, Ohio State with LeBron James. Kobe, I believe, had signed Kentucky. I'm going to flip the script a little, and I'm going to say Kobe Bryant, the Robbie brand, will now select the Philadelphia Eagles as the first NFL team with the Kobe insignia because Kobe is a born and bred Philadelphia Eagles fan. They're a nasty team. They're a gritty team. They like to let you know how bad they are, and they've got a certain smoothness that's associated with their offense, especially with Jalen Hurts under center. So go ahead and give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Nice. Went the whole team there. See you. Are we going 6-man?
We're going 6-man from the top, Mike.
All right. 6-man. So this person's kind of, winded down his career, but I think the way he played with such aggression and just becoming, I still think, the greatest. We got to give my man Rafael Nadal a Kobe Bryant deal.
Mike, did you just copy my answer of Carlos Alcaraz? Like, is this the meme?
No,
of, hey,
I took the person who Alcaraz thought he was and did better.
Carlos is better. Don't you dare.
Get out of here. Go back to work.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit oddball on this one too, because I feel like we've picked a lot of great athletes that deserve Kobe's. But what if one of Kobe's best characteristics is his ability to troll? So I'm gonna say Jalen Rose. I'm gonna say Jalen Rose has got to wear Kobe's all of his career.
At least 81 times.
Yeah, 81 times exactly.
Jalen Rose is on my list too. I think that'd be a fun one. I'll keep this one to myself in case Rohit says them. So my last pick, though, I got to go with Kobe's backcourt mate, man. Derek Fisher, the veteran, wearing him wearing the big stage Kobe 5s next to Kobe on the big stage. Like, come on, man. Like your point guard rocking your matching shoes. And so teams never do that anymore. Like even high school team, like on any level of basketball, no one ever wears the same shoes anymore. But there were those Laker teams from like 07 to 2010 where Trevor Ariza, Lamar Odom, Fisher, Shannon Brown, whoever is coming in and out of the team, everyone's rocking Kobe's and they're wearing the same Kobe's as Kobe that night. And it's like such a cool look.
See, I thought you were going to go Pau Gasol as the Kobe Memorial teammate spot on your team.
Nah, I want the backcourt mate, man. I want the Fish.
And then this is my 6-man, correct? So yep. I had it down to 2, and I think I'm also going to go down the soccer route as a couple of us did in the mid-rounds. I'm going to go with Erling Haaland, and he is essentially Thanos in striker form. He is ruthless. He is relentless. He's the same words I used to describe Carlos Alcaraz. He is that, except he looks like a Norwegian Viking. So if you haven't already, if you want to laugh at elite athletes looking like toddlers, go ahead and go to youtube.com, put in Erling Haaland, ErlingHaaland, and just tell me you don't see Kobe when you watch that man kick a ball at somebody's head or at his face.
All right, so I'm gonna take it one step further because you guys know that I do all this kind of stuff for work for the last 15 plus years. Our first product seeding from the Kobe line is going to be the flinch colorway for Matt Barnes.
I was thinking about Matt Barnes. Like, no one said Matt Barnes. I should have used it.
I'm going to go with the Chewbacca colorway and give it to Pau Gasol because he is essentially the Chewie to Kobe Bryant's Han Solo.
See, I want him to do a Kobe 5 in a whatever that vino color that Adidas came out with because that's the shoe he threw away from Nick Young who wouldn't sign it.
Yeah, yep. I have a pair of those. That shoe is phenomenal.
It is a very nice shoe. I wish I would have got a pair.
Yeah, actually, Nike should just do that, like a Kobe 4 or 5 in that like super light suede burgundy. That would be sweet.
Robbie, any seeds that you want to give away and tend to in your garden?
So I said no one could take Nick Young and didn't say Nick Young. Trevor Ariza was also on my team. Luka Doncic. Because, young Luka, even when like the Pro Tro 4 was first like being shown, had like a white, black, pink colorway that Luka would wear. I think he wore it All-Star Weekend, actually. Yeah, Luka was going to be my next one, but Fisher just felt more right.
All right, shall we run it back so people can hear him in order?
Let's run it back. All right. So, number 1, I got Devin Booker. Number 2, Kylian Mbappe. Number 3, Naomi Osaka. Number 4, Shohei Ohtani. Number 5, Jimmy Butler. And coming off my bench, Rafael Nadal.
Nice. All right. I got at number 1, I went with T-Mac, Tracy McGrady. At number 2, I went with Sophia Smith. Number 3, Max Verstappen. Number 4, Mookie Betts. Number 5, Gary Payton. And my 6th man, Jalen Rose.
And for myself, I went Giannis, Anthony Davis, Bronny James, Allen Iverson, DeMar DeRozan, and the Fish, Derek Fisher.
And then last, but certainly not least, Sabrina Ionescu with the number 1 pick, Victor Wembanyama from number 2, Carlos Alcaraz for number 3, Tyrese Halliburton for number 4. Had to make sure I could read my own initials. And then the Philadelphia Eagles with my 5th pick, and then coming off the bench, Erling Haaland.
See, Rohit had this idea. No, go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, I love how different we all kind of approach this like subject matter.
Not only that, this is one of the first drafts that I don't think anybody stole an answer from somebody, and that usually means it's such a deep and talented pool of people to pick from or choose to pick from. So good job.
So I definitely took mine very literally. How would you describe the way you picked? Literal was mine.
I went mine. You understand in basketball, but I went mindset like people who were really like victory driven. Like they had that same drive as Kobe did, no matter if it's basketball or pick a sport. So that's kind of where my mindset was.
I try to just take a collage. So whenever people say, what did Kobe Bryant mean to you? He meant to me as a teacher, a relentless competitor, a big man aficionado, because he always had a big man around him. And then also a little bit of that Philly hometown loyalty that he always showed. And then take into account also a couple of his other loves, which included the beautiful game of soccer.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't say it any better. I think that's the thing is like Kobe was so like we think of Kobe as like the ultimate competitor, but he was so multifaceted and passionate about so many different things that like it's not a surprise that we all just went different directions and found these things that are like indirectly or directly connected to him. You know, like Allen Iverson's perfect example of that, right? Like obviously like my favorite player of all time, but I would have never, you know, like I loved seeing him show up in Kobe gear because it was like, anytime I saw that, I always think of the clip of Magic opening up his jersey and wearing a bird jersey or underneath.
Yeah.
And like having that camaraderie is like, I think it's the thing about Kobe that we can never truly understand. But like you see it in every player, right? You see it in, like you said, DeMar DeRozan. You see it in, you know, Luka. You see it in obviously in all of his teammates, where it's just like he just brought them up levels in their life and their career and their passion, you know. And I think that's just an awesome thing about him that we probably will never see the same level of.
I was going to say this, Nick. I think we see glimpses of it, and that's enough for us. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the people that really got to know and appreciate him, whether it be his family, his teammates, his competitors, we all have a decent portion of Kobe Bryant that illuminates various facets of our life, and we're all happy with that. And I think that's finally us, if I can be so bold, almost coming to acceptance with the fact that he's gone, but he's never truly gone. You're going to make
all right, y'all.
I was going to say, I say that beautiful thing, and then we're going to start with these outro introductions, and I'm going to have to come up with a filthy OnlyFans account.
I mean, we could just skip the outro and mic drop on people.
Boom, over.
Mamba out.
Just
Mamba out it. We've got to Mamba out it.
That's okay. I was going to say, you can find me on OnlyFans as the Malhotra Mamba, but you can also find me on
I saw that one coming a mile away.
You can also find me on X at Rohisi and on Instagram at Rohit13. Robbie, where can they find you?
Solidarity. I'm not saying where you could find me because Kobe just mic dropped. So follow at Sneaker History.
I'm the asshole. Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate it.
No, where I join you. You can find me here, of course, in Sneaker History. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789, and of course, always find me on YouTube under just Mike Guillory. So you're not by yourself, Rohit. I got you.
Likewise, you can follow me at Nick Engvall on all the platforms. More importantly, hit the link in the description. It'll be the first one to get you in the Discord. Join the community. It's a great place. A lot of good people. A lot of great sneaker conversations like the one you just listened to or watched. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
See ya.
Hey, everyone. This is Nick again. Before you take off, do us a solid and head over to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon Music, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we have even more video content coming soon. Speaking of new content, we have an amazing community of sneaker enthusiasts that hang out in our Sneaker History Discord on a daily basis. While sneakers is a connection point that brought us all together, we've all discovered countless shared passions that we have in common with each other. We recently launched a couple of new podcasts directly from our community. One of them is a Formula One podcast. If you're an F1 fan like me, the Exhaust Notes podcast is your weekly fix of Formula One fun. It's hosted by myself, Rohit Malhotra, and Todd Yates. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I've been wearing fitted hats for years and collecting my favorite teams since I was a little leaguer. It has been awesome to see so many new fans getting into fitteds in recent years. Crown and Stitch is our new talk show about fitted hats with Dexter, Keith, and myself, where we talk about fitted hats, snapbacks, throw in some obscure hats because we all kind of like some funky stuff once in a while, don't we? Copping, collecting, and so much more. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Hit the links in the show notes for this episode to give our new shows a listen, and be on the lookout for more new podcasts dropping soon. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.